What is the Akashic body? What does it mean to fully come alive in your life, in your heart, in your soul, in your relationships, in your business? What does it mean to fully come alive? So I'd like to invite you to explore this with me today by finding a shape. I'd suggest a wide-legged child's pose if that's available to you. So bring the knees wide, the big toes touch, and extend the arms out in front of you. Forehead melts, heart melts. And start to deeply breathe into the belly. The whole basin of the belly bowl expands. And the sides of the ribs start to open into the seam of the pants or the thighs. And you'll actually feel the whole kidney band around the lumbar of the spine spread. You'll actually feel the Akashic body opening as you make contact with your ancestral chi. So as you settle into the shape and you explore some deeper breaths, the insight practice today is to invite in this central question into the practice field. What does it mean to me to fully come alive? To have a width of living that encapsulates both the suffering and the celebration? What is my capacity to experience life without changing it? So if your body may start to recall then already where it does not feel alive, where it feels constricted or stagnant or dissatisfied. And so you may breathe deeper and expel a little bit of sound out. You may rock a little bit or hum to yourself and explore what that muting, the turning down of the dial, actually feels like. So historically, what has it felt like in my body when connection is not as meaningful as I would like it to be? When passion is not as fiery and turned on as I would like it to be? When taste is not vibrant? When play is not as intuitive and exciting? And so you may explore where your capacity is currently to be with what is without preference. And so if you played around now with deepening the breath, quickening the breath, maybe shifting the position a little bit, rocking, extending the arms out, coming into all fours and then rocking back into child's, or maybe melting the heart even more as the arms come out and the chin on the mat and coming into like a little bit more of a heart opener. What would happen then if you explored a shape in which you turned up the dial of the taste, of the connection, of the passion, of the authenticity. What does it feel like in your body to explore your own teachers of coming alive? And so start to like over accentuate now and overplay around with this, move around, roll around like a jaguar and growl and start to explore taking up space as these characters, the character that mutes itself, the character that turns down the dial of the joy and the gratitude that's conditional upon circumstance. And then the character that celebrates more, that is larger than life, that is passionate, that tastes everything as the most delicious, exquisite flavor it's ever had. And start to explore the interplay and the conversation between these characters of the muted character and the larger than life character. How do they each move when in dialogue with one another? How do they play together? And please now observe the core emotion that you are experiencing in your life right now that is unpreferential to you. So this might be an emotion such as doubt or insecurity or rejection or fear. And now instead of interjecting what you would like to feel, the other end of the spectrum, please be fully open to receiving the current thread of the memory of this emotion now. So we're opening up the field of memory, the Akashic body, the field of memory for this emotion in your body. This emotion that you are continuously returning to purge, to feel, the centralizing force. What is the teacher of this emotion? What does this emotion want to say? How does it move? What is its story? What is all of the energy and all of the mandala of all of its teachers behind it? What is the coding of this emotion in your body? And since life is always expanding and always moving, one end of the spectrum of this emotion, the feeling, we'll use doubt as this example, I could feel lost, I could feel disconnected. The alleviating of the stagnation of experiencing the doubt, you may ask yourself, if it were to be liberated, how does it express? In what way does it move? What does it say? Is it a young energy, unsure of itself? Is it hiding in the corner? Does it grab onto opposite elbows and drop its head? Or is it older, and is it sitting in the corner kind of tapping its foot, maybe a little bit embittered by its many disappointments? And please notice in the body the constriction of where this emotion is coded. Before you go to Google, study, look up anywhere about what you believe or where you believe this emotion to be coded, please deeply call yourself into truth and ask, what would it mean for you to fully come alive right now? Where is this emotion coded in my body? And allow for the truth of this to come forward, which will depend on the experiences that you have had, the individual memories of your soul. So say you were a child whose parent was frequently late, picking them up from school or from soccer practice, then doubt may be coded here as unsafe. I cannot trust. I don't know if they'll show up, and I'll be left in the dark. And then doubt then becomes enlisted in the body as this responder emotion to protect the system then from feeling the threat of disappointment and not feeling valuable enough to be prioritized. So please now invite in where this is coded in your body and all of the memories that would like to be cleared now. Deep breaths. Move in any way that you are feeling called with any of your tool kit, your tool belt. You have so many at your disposal: breath and dance and voice. Any activation that you would like to invoke now, please. Also know that silence can also be an activation. Stillness is also an activation. Simply ask yourself, what is here? And if you like to come back to a structure to hold you as you explore this energy, come back to the child's pose. Come back to rocking a little back and forth as this backlog of doubt energy is then invited to liberate itself through the body. Liberate and liberate and liberate, like a faucet that's turned off and there is no water. You turn it on in full force, and then you begin to titrate it. And then you begin to play with it. Start to feel this energy in your body. Move this energy in your body. Feel the clear thread between the lovers of doubt and of certainty. See the yin and the yang of each emotion that you experience has a pair and has a spectrum and has its polarity. And on one side, you may feel overwhelm, but on the other side of that overwhelm is abundance, is overflow, is the exact same sensation in the body, just with a different name. So please find your shape that invites you to explore this in your body. Woo! We're not suggesting here, by the way, we have only one or the other. So we have like this anger, rage, and anguish, but that also includes receptive stillness and quietude and peace. So we're inviting in today the meditative field of yin to receive the truth and expand the capacity to be with discomfort. It's very wise. And also observe how it behaves and what it needs, and the inner dialogue, the inner subtle body to move it through on a deep level. And we're meeting that with the yang, which is the active, penetrating, in this case, movement, somatic dance, ecstatic expression, character amplification, playing the polarity, whatever that is for you. And we're experiencing this today as almost Akashic banter, like a witty banter in the body, to experience all of it. And so in doing so today, we are opening and activating the body's system for experiencing the coming alive, living a wide life, to meet rapture and ecstasy in the body, as well as celebration and despair and feeling lost. So what would it be if, when your system felt an intense and uncomfortable and shocking emotion, there was not an immediate shutdown or collapse or a freeze? What if the capacity to experience life in that moment became more, wider? What if then life for you became more meaningful through your own unique flavor of what it means to you to be alive, to experience all of it? So that is today's practice for meeting the ecstasy of Akasha in the body. And I suppose the Akashic records have always been a somatic practice, but we just forgot. So a reminder today that the universe is the body and the body is the universe. And you are invited to share now what it means to you to fully come alive in your life. I love you, and I'll see you soon.